The hospital room reeked of antiseptic, a sharp, sterile scent that clawed at my nostrils as I lay on the stiff mattress, the paper gown rustling with every shallow breath. My head pounded in uneven beats, my arm tethered to an foreline that made it feel like it no longer belonged to me. I stared at the ceiling tiles, tracing each crack and dent just to keep from screaming. How did I end up here? Just hours ago, I'd been laughing, glass in hand, my husband's arm snug around my waist. Now I was alone, my phone dead, my wedding ring catching the harsh hospital light like a cruel reminder. And James was gone. Not missing, vanished. Disappeared without a trace, leaving behind only pain sharper than the ache in my skull. It had started at the bar. The rusty anchor, dim, smoky, heavy with the sound of Springsteen and the low buzz of drunken chatter. James had insisted we go. His voice was alive with that boyish energy that used to melt me. "Come on, Lena. Let's shake things up," he'd said, his hazel eyes glowing under our kitchen chandelier. I'd wanted to stay home. Our daughter, Mia, was with my mom, and I'd planned a quiet night, Netflix, takeout, pajamas. But James had that grin, the one that pulled me in, and before I knew it, I was in a red dress I hadn't worn since before motherhood. The place was packed. Bodies pressed together, laughter echoing against sticky wood floors. James led me to a corner booth, his hand resting lightly at the small of my back. That's when I saw them, two strangers at the bar. The man had a sharp jaw and a worn leather jacket, the kind that told a story. The woman beside him shimmered in an emerald blouse, her dark hair cascading down her shoulders. They didn't belong here. I knew everyone in this town. Their laughter was too loud, too deliberate. "You okay, Lena?" James's voice pulled me back. His cheeks were flushed, his second whiskey already half gone. I nodded, pretending the knot in my stomach wasn't tightening. The woman's eyes met mine briefly before sliding to James, lingering. I brushed it off. Paranoia, I told myself. We'd been married 10 years. I trusted him. But the night blurred. Drinks kept coming. James's hand on my thigh. The stranger's laughter growing closer, until, somehow, they were sitting with us. Ethan, the man, had a voice like gravel, rough but smooth in all the wrong ways. Claire, the woman, smiled too wide, her words like sugar hiding venom.
"Just passing through," she said.
Road tripping from Boston to Miami. Chasing freedom. Her fingers grazed James's wrist as she reached for her drink, and my gut twisted.
James just laughed.
Unbothered. Too unbothered. Hours passed in a blur of neon and noise. My head was light, my limbs heavy. Ethan suggested a nightcap at their motel, a dingy place off Route 1 with a flickering sign. James was already nodding before I could protest. "Live a little," he whispered, his breath warm against my ear. The motel reeked of mildew. Claire poured vodka into plastic cups, every move too perfect. Ethan sprawled on the bed, eyes tracking me with unsettling calm. James sat beside Claire, their knees brushing. My chest tightened. This wasn't right. I stood, dizzy, saying I needed some air. Ethan followed. "You don't look like you're having fun," he said, his smirk cold. Before I could respond, the world spun. The air thickened. Then blackness. When I woke, the hospital lights were blinding. A nurse adjusted my four. "You're lucky," she said softly. "Your blood alcohol level was dangerously high. And there was something else. A sedative." My mind clawed at her words. I hadn't taken anything. My purse gone. My phone dead. James nowhere. I called my mom from the hospital phone, my hands trembling. Mia was safe, asleep. But James hadn't come home. Every call to his cell went straight to voicemail. Panic spread like fire under my skin. When I was discharged, I took a cab home. The house felt wrong. Empty, stale. His jacket was gone. His keys missing. His drawers bare. The wallet I gave him on our 5th anniversary wasn't there. And on the kitchen counter, a note. "I'm sorry, Lena. I can't do this anymore." The floor dropped out from under me. My knees hit cold linoleum as I clutched the paper. "Can't do this anymore." What did that mean? We'd had fights, sure. About money, exhaustion, Mia's tantrums. But this? This wasn't him. Desperate, I drove to the motel. The vacancy sign still blinked weakly in the rain. Their room, empty. Bed unmade. A single plastic cup on the nightstand. They checked out at dawn, the teenage clerk said without looking up. Paid in cash. No names. Back home, I tore through our life. Bank statements showed withdrawals, hundreds then thousands over months. His laptop held emails to an unknown account. Words like new start and clean break. It felt like my heart was splitting open. Had he planned this? Was Claire part of it? Days blurred into weeks. The police found nothing, no James, no Ethan, no Claire. I told Mia her dad was on a trip. Each time she asked when's daddy coming home, it cut deeper. Then came the package. A plain envelope. No return address. Inside, a USB drive. A note. You deserve to know. The video was grainy, but I knew that room. That laugh. That voice. James, with Claire. The timestamp, 6 months old. 6 months. He'd been lying to me for half a year. Maybe longer. The video ended. The note's words echoed. You deserve to know. To know that my husband had been a stranger. That I'd been blind. That love had made me foolish. Now I sit in the same house, the walls still smelling faintly of him, Mia's toys scattered across the floor, and I ask myself the same question over and over. Was he in on it? Did he let them drug me? The police call it abandonment. I call it something else. Betrayal wrapped in silence. And every time the antiseptic sting of that hospital crosses my memory, I taste the truth again. Bitter, metallic, and final. James didn't just leave. He erased me.